Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhattavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 25. We heard how Krishna, he lifted the Govardhana hill for 7 days, 7 nights. All the Brajvasis were happy to be with him. And then Indra has realized this mistake, so he stopped the clouds and the winds. And Krishna has put down the hill, and all the Brajvasis are asking Krishna, is he okay? Each of them are, reciprocating with him in different ways, giving him blessings. The elders are giving him blessings, making sure he's not injured. His friends are joking around with him, embracing him. The younger are offering obeisances to him, massaging his feet. Yashoda Rohini Nando.
Yashoda Rohini Nando.
Ramascha Balinam Varaha.
Ramascha Balinam Varaha.
Krishnam Alingya Yuyujur.
Krishnam Alingya Yuyujur.
Ashisha Sneha Kaataraha.
Ashisha Sneha Kaataraha.
Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Mother Yashoda, Mother Rohini, Nanda Maharaj and Balaram, the greatest of the strong, all embraced Krishna. Overwhelmed with affection, they offered him their blessings. So now, especially Mother Yashoda, Rohini, Nanda Maharaj, Balaram. Balaram is called greatest of the strong. They're all embracing Krishna. They love him so much. He's just done such a wonderful thing. Saved them all from the rain, the wind, the hail. He's lifted Govardhan for 7 days, 7 nights. So their heart is, they're so overwhelmed that, oh my, our Krishna, what he's able to do. And they offered him their blessings. Devi Deva Gana Siddha.
Devi Deva Ganaha Siddhaha.
Sadhya Gandharva Charanaha.
Sadhya Gandharva Charanaha.
Vishtuvur Mumuchustushta.
Tushtuvur Mumushchustushta.
Pushpa Varshani Parthiva.
Pushpa Varshani Parthiva.
In the heavens, O King, all the demigods, including the Siddhas, Sadhyas, Gandharvas, and Charanas, sang the praises of Lord Krishna and showered down flowers in great satisfaction. The demigods in heaven were just as jubilant as the residents of Vrindavan, and thus a great universal festival took place. So not only are the Brajvasis happy, the demigods are also showering flowers on Krishna. Siddhas, Sadhyas, Gandharvas, Charanas. Here Krishna has lifted up the Govardhan. They are also happy. Shankha Dundu Bhayonidu.
Shanka Dundu Bhayo Nedur.
Devi Deva Prachodita.
Divi Deva Prachoditaha.
Jagur Gandharva Patayas.
Jagur Gandharva Patayas.
Tumburu Pramukha Nripa.
Tumburu Pramukha Nirpa.
My dear Parikshit, the demigods in heaven resoundingly played their conch shells and kettle drums, and the best of the Gandharvas, led by Tumburu, began to sing. So it's a festival. They're all happy. So when we are happy, then we sing and dance, right? So the demigods are playing their conch shells, the kettle drums, and Tumburu is singing. Mm.
Tumburu
He
is
is
a
leading the
singer.
singing. Huh?
Who's Tumburu is a singer? Like how the
Yeah,
Gandharvas?
yeah.
Like, okay.
And the best of the Gandharvas, led by Tumburu,
Oh, okay.
began to sing.
One of the Gandharvas. So,
Yeah, looks like I read. What is
mm-hmm.
mentioned in Hindi?
It's written
Tumburu Pramukhan Ripa.
Gandharva
Hmm.
Pataya means the Mukhya, the head of the Gandharva.
Head of the
Hmm.
Gandharvas.
Hmm. Okay. ततो नुरक्ते पशुपे परिश्रितो
ततोऽनुरक्ते पशुपे परिश्रितो
राजन् स्वगोष्ठां सबलो व्रजत् तर्हि
राजन् स्वगोष्ठं सबलो व्रजत् तर्हि
तथा विधानि अस्य कृतानि गोपिका
तथा विधानि अस्य कृतानि गोपिका
गायन्त्य इयुर्मुदिता हृदि स्पर्शः
गायन्त्य ईयुर्मुदिता हृदि स्पृशः
surrounded by his loving cowherd boyfriends and Lord Balaram. Krishna then went off to the place where he had been tending his cows. The cowherd girls returned to their homes, singing joyfully about the lifting of Govardhana hill and other glorious deeds performed by Lord Krishna, who had so deeply touched their hearts. Before returning to their homes, the gopis shared intimate association with their lover, Sri Krishna, by exchanging secret glances. Ordinarily, they could not publicly talk about Krishna since they were chaste young girls in a religious village. But now they took advantage of this wonderful exhibition by the Lord and freely sang of his beautiful qualities. It is natural that a young man wants to do something wonderful in the presence of a beautiful young girl. The gopis were the most beautiful and pure-hearted young girls, and Sri Krishna performed the most wonderful activities in their presence. Thus, he entered deep within their tender hearts, enlivening their eternal devotion to him. Thus end the purports of the humble servants of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to the 10th Canto, 25th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Lord Krishna Lives Govardhan Hill. So Krishna has gone off with his friends and Balaram, where he seems he went where he was tending his cows. So he's gone there, and the gopis, they're going home, and they're singing about Krishna. Purport we hear that, they were there for 7 days, 7 nights. Some descriptions show, some descriptions say that when Krishna was holding the Govardhan, then he was exchanging loving glances with the young gopis. Yeah. The how young boy, young girl, they meet. They're not able to express their love openly, so they'll have the hidingly loving glances to each other. So that's what was happening. And usually the young gopis can't speak about Krishna openly. But now that he's lifted the Govardhan hill. Everyone is singing his praises, right? So they also singing openly about him. He's touched their heart deeply. Yes, his loving exchange with them, and also such a wonderful thing, he lifted Govardhan. He entered deep within their tender hearts, enlivening their eternal devotion to him. Any comments? Questions?
Lord Balram was there, right? Throughout this whole Leela.
Yeah, some of the descriptions, they say that when Krishna was looking at the gopis, then Balaram saw Krishna, that he's looking, and then Krishna feels shy. There is some description like that. And Krishna feels shy, that, oh, Balaram has got him, looking at the gopis.
Because like earlier, there was no mention of Lord Balram, so I was just wondering.
Yeah, that's right. I believe there was no mention. But yeah, Lord Balaram is there also. Okay.
So the gopis got what they wanted. That,
Yeah. Yeah. They could just be with Krishna.
be with Krishna. Imagine for 7 days continuous. Yeah.
Yeah, 7 days, 7 nights. They're just there with him.
Because the Maharas Leela, it was just 1 day, right? 1 night.
The Ras
But
Leela,
but
one
that,
night, but
it was very long.
but yeah, Krishna elongated that one night to one kalpa,
1 kalpa,
one
yes.
day of Brahma.
Yeah.
So 1 day of Brahma means 1,000 Chaturyugas.
Yeah. But this one doesn't come with that kalpa, right? The
No.
7 nights. No.
7 days, 7 nights. Yeah.
So
At
actually,
least
then
I haven't heard. Huh?
yeah. So actually, so that is longer. They had a longer time, right, to be with
Yeah.
Krishna.
Yeah.
Leela. Maharas, yeah.
Yeah. That's right. Actually, they had longer. Yeah. So he's lifted the Govardhan, then he's kept it, and now they're all going back home. So brings us to chapter 26, wonderful Krishna. In this
Prabhupada,
chapter, Nanda Maharaj. Huh?
Krishna, in the purport, last purport, the last line is the last line. फल स्वरूप वह उनके कोमल हृदयों में गहरे प्रवेश कर गए और स्वयं के प्रति उनकी सनातन भक्ति को जीवंत कर दिया. Right? So it's for the gopis this is mentioned, that he entered their heart and then for himself, like their devotion, right? The eternal devotion.
Yeah. Enlivening the eternal devotion to him. Yeah. They always love him. They always his
that's why I was wondering
devotees.
why this is so, like it was more enhanced or something like that, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Just now he spent with them 7 days, 7 nights, and he's lifted Govardhan hill, So it's like a wonderful thing he's done. So they're falling more in love with him.
In a way to
There's
say
actually,
like, sorry, yeah. In a way to say like, Lord, Indra, what he did, was, in fact, was a blessing in disguise for the gopis and for everyone, for the Brijvasis. Correct?
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
They
Yeah.
getting to spend time with Krishna totally
Yeah,
for
Yeah.
we also see that the Brahmaji was, like more, it was the thing that he did was more offensive than Indra. Krishna forgave Indra very easily. Right, Shilpaji?
Yeah.
He
Yeah, you want to
forgave.
explain? Yeah, you want to explain what you're saying?
Yeah, what I'm trying to say here is that because because Krishna was able to spend more time with his loved ones, so Indra was not a big offender, though there was correction needed and it was Krishna Leela, but because Brahmaji kept him away from his beloved Gopas, he hid them. So that was a bigger offense than Indra.
Yeah.
So he offered a lot of prayers, and after that, he was forgiven. But Indra was forgiven instantly, like kind of. It was very easy he just came, he begged for forgiveness, and he brought a Sorobi cow, and he did Abhishek, and he was forgiven. But Brahmaji had to do quite a lot effort, offer prayers, big prayers, like a whole chapter was there. So it was big offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Also, another way to see, of course, as we read Brahma Vimohan Leela, was that all the elderly Gopas, gopis, cows, they wanted Krishna as their son, so they got an opportunity to spend 1 year with him. We heard how they were loving their children so much. They had never loved their children so much before. Always their love was for Krishna. And in that 1 year, it was like everybody has so much tears of love going everywhere. And then Balaramji finally, after a year, he's like, what's happening?
Even the cows. Right?
Even the cows, yeah.
Cows, yeah.
So we can see how Krishna's pastimes are, right? At one hand, he's correcting the pride of his devotees. Another hand, he is enhancing the love of his devotees, spending more time with them.
Fulfilling their desires, like these are all their desires. That's why they're getting all
Yeah,
right?
fulfilling desires. Yeah,
Even Krishna taking the garments of the gopis, that's also another, right? Like fulfilling their
that's
desire.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gopis, like they wanted Krishna as their husband.
yeah. So he
Right?
fulfilled their desire. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Mm. So what's our desire? Each of us has so many desires, right? Each of us has to think. And Krishna is the one who's fulfilling all our desires based on our activities, our karma. It's fulfilling our desires. And that's how we are going here life after life. So if we can also desire to love Krishna, that's a wonderful desire. Now we are going to read Wonderful Krishna. In this chapter, Nanda Maharaj describes Krishna's opulences to the cowherd men, as Nanda had heard them from Gargamuni. The cowherd men, unaware of Lord Krishna's power, were amazed to see his various extraordinary activities. The men approached Nanda Maharaj and told him that after seeing how Krishna, a boy only 7 years old, had lifted a mountain, and how he had previously killed the demoness Putana and generated extreme attraction in the hearts of everyone in Vrindavan, the men had become doubtful and bewildered about how Sri Krishna could possibly have taken birth in the unsuitable environment of a cowherd community. Nanda replied by relating to them what Gargamuni had told him about Sri Krishna. Gargamuni had said that in the previous 3 ages, Nanda's boy had manifested himself in white, red, and yellow forms, whereas now in the Dwapar age, he had assumed his darkish blue form, Krishna roop, because he descended as the son of Vasudev. One of his many names is Vasudev, and he has innumerable other names indicating his many qualities and activities. Garga Muni had predicted that Krishna would prevent all sorts of catastrophes in Gokul, spread unlimited auspiciousness, and increase the ecstasy of the cowherd men and women. In a previous age, he had provided protection for the saintly Brahmanas when they were harassed by low-class dacoits, and there was no proper ruler in society. As the demons in the higher planets can never defeat the demigods who have Lord Vishnu on their side, no enemy can ever defeat those who love Krishna. In his affinity for his devotees and in his opulence and power, Krishna is just like Lord Narayan himself. Overjoyed and awestruck by Gargamuni's statements, the cowherdmen concluded that Krishna must be an empowered representative of the Supreme Lord Narayan. Thus they worshipped him and Nanda Maharaj. So everyone is like, what, how come Krishna, he's just a small boy, how come he was able to lift the Govardhan? We are grown up men. We are stronger than Krishna. We couldn't lift Govardhan. How come a small boy has lifted? So we are going to hear in this chapter what Nanda Maharaj is replying to them. That what Gargamuni told him. So their final conclusion is that Krishna is empowered by Narayan to do all this. And Narayan is the Supreme Lord. And Narayan is giving these powers to Krishna to save them, protect them. You're going to read this chapter tomorrow, text by text. So we'll stop here.
Okay.
Thank you all for listening and joining. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki